What's up, you guys? Narakami whatever here, and I am back with a new video. Today's video is gonna be what if Deku was born in Ruby. Now, um, if you guys haven't watched Ruby, I recommend you guys watching it. I will leave a link in the description down below, or you can go to roosterteeth.com to watch it. It's a really good show. Now, before I begin the story, um, from what I'm thinking right now, I think I should try to finish What If Deku and Eerie was transported to Demon Slayer. So I should try to finish it. So I still need help on the confession of Shinobu, or like Shinobu confessing, or Deku, or I don't know. And I may try to make up some stories, or some parts of Izuku fighting, well, going on his own mission, gathering some information, and maybe the fight against all the upper moons, like the final mission. So, yeah. And for Izuku's outfit, here's Izuku's outfit for him when he's hunting or with the group. And here is Izuku's weapon. His weapon's gonna be a triple changer. Basically, Izuku's weapon is gonna be a sniper rifle, a sword, and a scythe. But the scythe is gonna be like the last resort for like his own enemy, well, for a bigger target, since if it's too tough. Yeah. So, and also this is going to be Izuku's bike. Yeah, since I think in one of the episodes I may try to have him and Yang have a race. Yeah, and this one it's a harem. So yeah, if you don't like the harem, if I do, it doesn't matter, okay? So, and this is what Izuku's gonna look like, and this is what he usually wears. Now, for right now, let's get into the story. Now, from where we're gonna start off is Izuku walking through the forest. Right now, he's in his outfit right now. Oh shoot! Oh, wait. I'll explain his semblance later. Izuku walking through the forest with his weapon with him. Right now, going to his mother and father's grave. But before he got there, he can sense a bunch of Grimm surrounding him. Let's say it's the wolves and the Ursa. Yeah, the Ursa. So They started coming right after him. But before one of the wolves was about to cut him down, Izuku jumped up in the air with a trail of lightning. Izuku pulled out his weapon and sniped one right into the head. He took a couple pot shots at some other wolves, killing two more. When he was landing, wolves are coming right at him, so he was dodging multiple of the wolves, and he was still shooting, killing some of them. So now Izuku transforms his sniper rifle into the sword, which you already know is this one. It's clean. And Izuku has been... Well, Izuku... Yeah. Oh my god, hold up. Okay. So Izuku used his sword to cut down the wolves, and okay, that's the barrel. So Izuku cut down some wolves that were coming right at him. He was still shooting right at the wolves. He jumped up on top of the wolf, and the wolf tried to freaking get him off, but Izuku cut both of the worm's arms off. Izuku was riding it like he was in the rodeo, but he was still cutting every wolf down. He cut some heads off. He stabbed. And when he got bored, he got off and just killed the wolf he was riding on. That was my bad for the commercial that was on. Now, Izuku managed to kill off all the wolves. So there was one Grimm standing, which was the Ursa. So both Izuku decided to transform his sword right into a scythe. Izuku gets into his stance, readying. Both the Ursa and Izuku started to charge at each other, and Izuku dashed, and Izuku pressed the button in the middle of the handle. He shot his scythe, boosting him, giving him the speed. Also using his lightning to increase the speed to take down the Ursa. He went so fast that Ursa was not able to see him. The Ursa gets cut everywhere. When Izuku was gonna go for the head, he went under, put the scythe right under the Ursa's neck. Well, more like on top of the neck. Izuku pulled the trigger and cut the Ursa's head off. He does a pose. Well, he does a pose by transforming his sniper back into a normal gun, and put it on his shoulders. Well, I suck at poses, so let's continue. So Izuku was finished. He was out of breath, but he still decided to go visit his parents' grave. So while Izuku was traveling, I'm going to explain Izuku's semblance. As you see in this arm, it's obviously lightning based. So Izuku's semblance is he's gonna be able to like shoot lightning right from his hands and put course the lightning through his body to increase his strength and speed. Also, in case if he get his weapon knocked out of his hand, uh, in case he gets his weapon knocked out of his hand, he is able to create lightning weapons. So, yeah. And comment down below if you want me to give Izuku a secondary, like a secondary pistol that can also transform to a dagger. So, let's get back into the story. Izuku. So we're gonna time skip right to Izuku at his parents' grave. He says, "Hey mom. Hey dad. I I missed you. I miss you guys. But I have grown strong. I hope you guys are proud of me. And I am planning to go to Beacon. So, and I will find the person that killed you. And I will avenge you both. But I'll do whatever I can to find him. But don't worry. I've been taking care of myself. I just every time I sleep, I can't get you guys out of my head. When I watched you guys die, I've been having these nightmares of you guys saying it was my fault, that I didn't do anything. But in reality, I know it wasn't my fault. It was that man's fault that took you away from me. But I love you both. Now, I'm gonna go home now. I hope you guys are doing fine in the afterlife. I'll come back again. Goodbye, Mom and Dad. Now, Izuku, after talking to his mother and father's grave, he turns around and walks home. And Izuku didn't know that he was actually being watched by his parents. Right behind Izuku was the silhouette of his mother and father, Inko and Hisashi Midoriya. Izuku was glad. No, Hisashi and Inko were glad that Izuku was taking care of himself. But they don't know what's gonna happen if he finds the man. Which was the man with the mask on his eyes, with the red blade. Which you guys know what I'm talking about if you watched RWBY. So we're gonna time skip to when Izuku got home. Now, for Izuku, well, right now Izuku is in his home right now. He went to go make himself some dinner. He has a garden right in the backyard. He went to go pick out some vegetables and fruit and and he went inside, grabbed some meat or eggs, no meat, to make himself some food. He made himself some steak and a salad. Now, after Izuku was done eating, he went to go train to burn off the calories. So he went to, well, he went into the room to practice more on his scythe and maybe do a few upgrades. Maybe make some more rounds with the dust. Now, so Izuku has been practicing more on his scythe. He has already mastered on his sniping skills and his swordsmanship. So right now he is practicing on his scythe, trying to get more, well, trying to master his scythe skills. And Izuku was also thinking if he could make himself a secondary weapon, which is your guys' choice. It is your choice. If you want Izuku to get a secondary weapon or no. If yes, and it has the most likes, I'll take it. But if no, I'll give him no secondary weapon. Now, after Izuku was done training and making some more rounds for his rifle, so Izuku went off to bed. Well, before he went to bed, he went to go take a shower. And Izuku, after he took a shower, he went to bed. Now, we're gonna time skip to next morning. After Izuku woke up, after Izuku woke up, he says, I think maybe I should go into town. Maybe do some supply run. Yeah. So Izuku got into his outfit, which is this, but he has a hood down, so yeah. And also the lightning, like, it's obviously the lightning is tattooed on there. Well, embedded in there, so yeah. So Izuku took his weapon with him and he put it on his back. Izuku, when he finished, got ready, he grabbed his keys, locked the door, and went to his bike. Which is this. So Izuku does have gas for his bike. And it's super fast too. So, now, Izuku starts up his bike and goes into town. The same town that Ruby was in. So, Izuku went to go to a grocery store and maybe a bookstore. Yeah, a bookstore to get something to read and something else to, supplies, obviously. And Izuku was also thinking of getting more dust. And maybe something else in the other store, in the dust store. Yeah. So Izuku, Izuku, after he got his supplies, he, let's say that Izuku has the thing, the, the passenger side on the right. Yeah. So he put him there, and let's say it acts like a trunk. Yeah, a trunk. To safely put away his stuff. Now, after Izuku put away his supplies, he decided to go into the dust store, which is the same dust store that Ruby was in from the beginning of episode 1. Now, Izuku went inside and said, well, I don't even know what the old man's name. He'll just say, "Hey, old man, how you doing?" The old man looks behind him and says, "Ah, Izuku, how are you doing today?" "I'm doing fine. I went to go check on my parents' grave yesterday." The old man says, "Oh, well, I'm still sorry for your loss, Sonny." "It's okay, old man. So, I'm just here to get like a little more dust and maybe something else on here." The old man says, "Okay, Izuku. Just tell me when you're finished, okay?" "Sure, old man." Now, Izuku went to the back to go get some stuff. And Izuku also went to go look at some magazines. He sees some magazines of weapons. And well, it's not close to where Ruby is. It's like on the left side. So, yeah. Izuku was looking at the magazine of weapons. He was interested in these weapons, but he liked his sniper rifle better. But from what he caught his eye was one of the pistols. He was interested in one of the pistols that he wanted to use as a secondary. He was thinking about it, but he doesn't know if he wants to get it or not. But while he was thinking, he all of a sudden heard glass breaking. He... No. Yeah, glass breaking. He went into the front and he saw three guys in the front. Two wearing black suits with guns, and one with a white suit and a top hat with a cane, which is Roman. He looks at the broken window to see a girl with black hair and, by the looks of it, dressed like Red Riding Hood, except with a cape. No, wait. No, she does have a cape. With a cape. So Izuku, and no, also he also saw a scythe that the girl is holding. Oh yeah, she also has black hair with a tint of red. So he's like, what is going on? Izuku then sees two guys running right towards the girl. Izuku grabbed his sword and dashed right to the man. With the two guys, he sliced them, but didn't kill him. Well, he sliced one and kicked the guy in the gut. which managed to knock him out. Wait, when you get kicked to the gut, can you actually get knocked out by that? Nah, not really, but I'll let it happen. Izuku was standing by the girl, and the girl says, "Wow, thanks for the save." And, "Oh, your weapon is so cool." Izuku says, thanks? Now, Roman was pissed. Well, more like annoyed. He decided, well, Red, Greenie, I think it's time for me to make my leave. So, Roman pointed his cane right on the ground where Ruby and Izuku was, and I just said the name, and blasted a small explosive right at them. On impact, it exploded. At that moment, Izuku and Rui were in the smoke, and when the smoke cleared, they see him gone. But Izuku looked behind him and saw Roman going up to the roof. He was climbing the ladder. "Old man, I'm gonna go after him." "Okay, Izuku, but be careful. Don't worry. Just stay there." So Izuku went after the guy. So he coursed lightning right to his feet and sped. And you also used the lightning to jump up in the sky to get to the roof. And right next to him was Ruby, which also was on the roof with him. Now, Izuku says, "Wait, wait, miss, I want you to, like, take care of the old man." "No way. Don't worry, the old man's gonna be fine. I just want to stop this guy right here." "Well, okay, but this guy is core, so he has nowhere to go." Now, Roman says, "Oh, really? You really think I'm cornered? You really think I wouldn't come alone?" Well, obviously, the three guys you knocked out, but you always think that I wouldn't come alone. All of a sudden, Izuku and Ruby see an airship right behind Roman. They came to pick him up. Izuku transformed the sword right into a sniper rifle. Roman got onto the ship, but Izuku was shooting the ship. He was trying to destroy the engines. Then Ruby also took out her sniper rifle, but Roman shot the explosive right at both of them. The both of them dodged, and Ruby looked to her right and saw a huntress, a blonde lady with a white top and some black pants. I can't describe her wears. So yeah, with a wand. From Roman says, "We got a huntress." The woman in the pilot seat switched with Roman and shot fire at the three. The blonde lady with the blonde woman blocked the attack and sent the attack right at him with a sharp piercing. Izuku decided to shoot lightning right at the ship, and Ruby was shooting, and the woman, well, when it hit the ship was stumbling, and the woman stumbled back a little bit. So she decided to make the ground that where 3 ore are to explode. The woman with blonde hair noticed this and got both Izuku and Ruby out the way. So she used her magic to get both them out the way and herself out the way when the ground exploded. And both Roman and the woman managed to escape. Now, when Izuku put away his weapon, he put it on his back. He looked over to see Ruby fangirling over the blonde lady. If you know this, her name is Glinda. And when she was trying to get her autograph, we skipped to we skipped to the interrogation room. So Linda slammed her hand on the table, and she says, have any of you have any idea how much trouble you are in? I know you were trying to stop him, but well, yeah, I know you were trying to stop him, but she's I forget the whole conversation of in the interrogation room. So Izuku just says, well, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I didn't want some criminal to get away. Besides, from what I know, he has some connection. He may have some connection of the man that killed my family. Glinda stopped in. Says, really? Well, I'm sorry for your family, but you shouldn't have. Stop. I'm stuttering. You shouldn't have went after them. But before she can continue talking, a man right behind him, from what I think is gray hair, and a suit, walks in with coffee and a cookie. He says, now Glinda, calm yourself. Now, Glinda Ospin set the cookies down on the table. And Ruby just scarfs down the cookies. Cookies. Now, Ospin says, now, Ruby Rose and Izuku Midoriya. Midoriya, huh? I remember your family. Your family was one of the greatest hunters I have ever seen. And I am sorry for your loss, Sonny. It's okay, sir. I just wanted to get payback on the man that killed him. Now I understand. And now, Ruby Rose. His husband gets a closer look into her eyes and says, you got silver eyes. Now, remember, I don't really remember the whole conversation. I don't really remember most of the conversations. But, let's just continue. So, Osman says, I got a proposition for both of you. How about you to attend Beacon Academy to us? And as you know, my name is Osman. I am the headmaster of Beacon Academy. Well, Zuko says, well, I was planning to go to Beacon, but yeah, sure, I'll go. For Ruby, she was excited, ecstatic, that she was so happy that she is able to go to Beacon with her sister. Osman says, good. Now I'll see you both at Beacon. Next week? I think it's tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, so a week. I'll just do a week. Now, Ruby, Zuko, you both may leave. So after Glinda and Osman left the room, and Ruby and Izuku walked out behind them and went to the front, and Izuku sees his bike, and he looked inside the trunk and still has the supplies. Izuku went to the bike and said to Ruby, Ruby, right? Ruby says, yeah. And your name is Suzuku. I heard your family was one of the best hunters. Yeah, I know. Now, right now, I'll see you next week. Okay? Ruby says, yeah. So, get home safe. I will. You get home safe as well, Ruby. Now, after he was done talking, Izuku turned on the bike and drove off. Now, we're gonna time skip of Izuku on the airship. Right now, he was leaning on the wall, looking outside. Now, both Ruby and Yang like canon, with Yang saying, "Oh, I can't wait to be in Beacon with my little sister." And Ruby says, "Yang, stop it!" Getting her neck crushed by Yang. Now, Yang says, "Oh, come on. I heard that you and that guy and the other guy were fighting that guy with the top hat. And I'm surprised, even to that green-haired boy, which was a cutie." You already know how Yang acts. Now, now Izuku. Now Yang says, "Now where is your friend?" Ruby looks around and sees Izuku. She says, "Oh, she's right over there." No, I said she. Oh my god. Now, well, whatever. Just continue. Ruby says, "Oh, you see over there, leaning on the wall, and looking out the window." both both Ruby and Yang went up to Izuku, and Izuku was still looking out the window, and he noticed both Ruby and Yang and the blonde-haired girl, which I already know is Yang, obviously. When he noticed both Ruby and Yang, he says, "Oh, hello, Yang. And how are you doing?" Ruby says, "I'm doing well." Izuku says, "Well, that's good. And who is this?" Oh, Ruby says, "Oh, this is my sister, Yang." Yang says, "How's it going?" Oops. Now, Izuku says, "I'm doing good." Yang says, "Hey, I would like to thank you for helping my sister against those thugs." Izuku says, "Well, it's no problem. If someone's in trouble, I will be always come there to help." Izuku gives them the I'm gonna just say this. He gives them the $1 million smile. Well, I don't know how many people give him the name with his signature smile. Both Yang and Ruby blushed. Izuku just says, actually asked, and says, Are you both okay? Your faces are red." Ruby says, uh, "It's fine. Um, yeah, it's fine, it's fine." Now, now, after both Yang and Ruby calmed down, Izuku noticed the blonde boy running over to a trash can barfing. And Izuku just says, "Well, someone has motion sickness." Well, motion sickness on vehicles, though. Yeah. Now, anyways, it looks like we reached our destination. Ruby was astounded of how big Beacon was, and Yang was also astounded and psyched to be at Beacon. And also, Ruby looked down and says, "Ew, Yang, you got puke. You got puke on your shoes. Gross, 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 gross." Izuku just says, "Hey, don't get that on me." Now, when they landed, the blonde boy just ran out and barfed in the trash can. Now, Izuku and Yang and Ruby were walking together. It says, well, and Ruby saw some weapons. It says, like in canon, like, the staff, the fire sword." Izuku sweats up and says, says to Ruby, no, asks Yang, "Yang, is she always like this?" Yeah, Yang says, "Yeah, she's always like this around when she sees new weapons." Izuku says, "I see." So, Yang went to go drag, Ruby back and says, "Calm down, sis, they're just weapons." Just weapons? They're not just weapons. They're our pride and joy. Just, and I love my weapon. Yeah. So, Ruby, okay, Yang says, "Ruby, how about you try to make some more friends, just like Izuku." Just like Izuku. which they see Izuku surrounded by girls because of his handsome. No, 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 not surrounded by girls. Let's say some of his old friends. Yeah, some of his old friends from his previous school. And when Izuku's friends went inside the beacon, he went back to Ruby and saw that Yang was gone. Izuku asked, Ruby, where did Yang go? Uh, she ditched, she ditched us with her friends. Well, let's just go. And when they're rocking around, Ruby was about to say, Izuku, I think we're a lot. When she was about to finish that sentence, she bumped into a girl that her stuff was about to fall. And Izuku used his lightning to increase his speed to grab all the luggage that was about to fall on the ground. And he managed to use his speed to grab every luggage. And he set them on the ground. And they see a girl with white hair and a dress. Or what she calls it, a battle skirt. And a rapier. With a scar over one eye. The girl says, "Hey, be careful, you dunce!" Do you know how valuable these dust are? When the girl was shaking the red dust, some dust got into some of the dust got into Ruby's nose and she sneezed, which Izuku got her out of the way. Actually, yeah, which Izuku got the girl out the way of the sneeze explosion. Yeah. So, yeah. So Izuku looked and yeah. So Izuku says, "You okay, miss?" Weiss looked up and says, yeah, thanks. Can you please put me down?" Izuku says sure, and puts her on her feet. Now, the girl with white hair started to argue when she says, "Do you know who I am?" Ruby just says, but out of nowhere, the girl with black hair with a bow, while reading a book, she says her name was Weiss Schnee, Adonis of the company of the Schnee family. Creators, I don't know about creators. The makers of dust. Ha! Thank you. And then the girl with black hair proceeds to talk all this crap. But Weiss was complaining, and And the girl with black hair just walks off, ignoring her complaints. Yeah, ignore her complaints. Now Izuku just walks to, well, what just says, okay, can we just calm down, please? Cause we need to get to the hall. Because right now we do not want to be late. Weiss says with a sigh, "You're right. Let's just go." Well, for what she went up ahead, and right behind them they met up with the boy with blonde hair. He says, well, the guy with blonde hair went up to Ruby and says, "Here, uh, let me help you up." Ruby says, "Hey, aren't you the guy that vomited on the ship?" Now both Izuku and yeah, both Izuku, Ruby, and the boy John, which he already introduced when he picked up Ruby, well, lifted her up on the ground by her hand, and says, "It's not my fault. I have motion sickness." And Ruby says, "Huh? Oh, okay, vomit boy." Oh, really? How about I call you Crater Face? That was an accident. Now, Isuku just stops them and says, guys? I think we're lost." Both Ruby and John stopped and look around. That they are definitely lost. So, so we're gonna time skip of where they were at the hall, where a lot of people were at, and both Ruby and Izuku get their names called. See Yang wings to them. "Hey guys, over here." Now Ruby says, "Oh, I gotta go, John. See ya." "Yeah, see you, dude." John says, "Yeah, sure. I'll see you guys later." Now Izuku went with Ruby to meet up with Yang. Says, "So Yang, how are you doing since I was gone?" Well, for what Ruby says, "Well, for leaving me and I managed to explode." Ooh, having a tantrum already, Ruby? No, I literally exploded when this girl with white hair named Weiss kept complaining about that she was part of this and this, that. And um both Yang and Ruby looked behind. No, both Yang and Izuku looked behind Ruby to see the girl, which Izuku recognized it was Weiss. um, and Weiss just says, "I'm sorry. What'd you say?" Well, just, yeah. I don't really remember the whole conversation, so. So, everything goes in canon. The talk of Ozpin saying his speech. So, we're gonna skip to nighttime. like in canon, Izuku, no, like in canon, Yang and Ruby were talking. And as soon as Izuku got out the shower, dressed in his, well, he only has his pajama pants. He was showing some really good muscles that are created of the gods. Well, let's say it's Trunks build, like future Trunks. You know. And when both Ruby and Yang saw Izuku, Ruby blushed like crazy, and Yang is getting thoughts, simping thoughts like. Ruby hears this and says, "Yang, stop! It's getting annoying." Now, Izuku went up to Ruby and Yang and says, "Hey guys." Ruby says, Izuku, could you, like, mind putting on a shirt? Yeah, sorry, Ruby. Yang just says, "Oh, no, no, no." I just hit the mic. "Oh, no, no, no. Please, keep the shirt off." Oh my god, I'm going crazy right now. So, uh, so, just like in canon, they both met a girl named Blake Belladonna reading a book. And Yang looks at the book and says, "Oh, you read that book too? I like that. But I'm a series behind right now." Blake Belladonna says, "Oh, you read this book too?" Yeah. Yeah, I do. I like the book a lot. So, and Izuku went up to Blake and whispered to her ear, "Blake, I know that you're a faunist." Blake was shocked of how he knew that that um he knew that she was a faunist. But Izuku says, "But don't worry, I respect the faunist. So I will not tell your secret. Okay? Besides, you look cute with those cat ears." Blake was shocked and blushed afterwards. Now, Izuku says, "Alright guys, I think I'm gonna go to bed." So, okay, that was a coincidence. Now, so Izuku just says goodnight to the three and went off to go sleep. Now, we're gonna time skip to the morning. Now, Izuku had a couple nightmares, but they're not enough to, well, wake him up or disturb the others. So, when Izuku wake up, he decided to pack up like everyone else and went to go eat breakfast, which breakfast was pancakes with butter. And he sees a guy with black hair, well, black long hair, with a hint, well, with one strand of pink, and to see a orange hair, well, ginger haired looking girl talking, and he, Izuku says, well, thinks in his mind, "Oof, I feel bad for that guy." And now we skip to the locker when Izuku was grabbing his equipment, which was his suit, which was clean. The suit, but he doesn't have this. He doesn't have this. So yeah. So and his weapons. Now, okay, this is the third time I'm gonna say this. Comment down below, yes or no, if you want me to give Izuku a secondary weapon. Now, let's continue. Oh wait. Oh, okay. Now we're gonna skip to ear in or I'm gonna just say orientation, cause I can't say the name right. So when they were outside, when they were outside, and Ozpin giving the talk that they're gonna go to Emerald Forest to find the relic of in the ruins. After he was done talking, John just raised his hand that says, "Are you guys gonna give us parachutes?" While he was talking, the person on Izuku's left was launched, and Izuku just says, "Hey, Ruby, I'll see you on the flip side." And he got launched, and he activated his lightning to. Actually, no. Yeah, he used his lightning. Actually, no, he pulled out his scythe. No, he pulled out his sword, he turned it backwards, and let's say, wait, where's the trigger on this? I guess it's the trigger on top, I guess. Yeah, so Izuku turned his gun to a sword and pressed the trigger, which is on top of that handle. Well, he shot air bullets to propel himself even farther. So, Izuku turned his sword into a scythe to put it around the tree, to like spin around the tree to make his own landing. Which, in coincidence, whereas Ruby landed in the same spot or close by. Well, actually far right behind Izuku, where Weiss is there as well. Now, Izuku was walking through the forest, trying to look for the relics. But he gets surrounded by Grimm, which is the wolves. So, Izuku took out, transformed his scythe back into a sword, and gets ready for a fight. Now, he first shot lightning at one wolf, at two wolves, two separate lightnings, which disintegrated the two wolves. Izuku sees one wolf coming right at him, and he sliced the wolf in half. Izuku increased his speed and strength to give more of a damage and speed. So he dashed and sliced every wolf that surrounded him. And there was one more wolf. Izuku stepped Izuku dashed and stabbed his sword into the wolf's head. And he pulled the trigger, blowing the blowing the Grimm's head off. Well, the brains out. Also, ignore the other sounds or audio. Now, Izuku, after he finished, he was panting. Okay, that was tiring. But I'm gonna conserve my energy. Now, but for Izuku, he has a pouch which keeps his energy bars or some drinks. So, yeah, let's say the fanny pack. Yeah, a fanny pack, like on his back. So, yeah, that doesn't bother him on while he was fighting. So, yeah. Izuku hears someone behind him, and he hears an argument. He ran towards that sound and sees both Weiss and Ruby arguing. Izuku just says, are you guys okay? Uh, Yang just says, this dunce, Ruby, almost had me, almost got herself killed when I was charging at one wolf. Well, it's, it's not my fault. Well, yeah, it is. You went right in front of me where I was about to attack the wolf, and you just got in front of me. I would have pierced you. Izuku just says, alright, both of you calm down. Now, let's just go find the ruins and get the relics. I don't care, okay? So now, Izuku, Weiss, and Ruby walked off, and let's say, well, like in canon, both Ruby and Weiss got caught by the bird. I kind of forget. I need to look up the Grimm's names, like all of them. So yeah, but he did not catch Izuku since he dodged out of the way, and yeah. So Izuku course lightning into his body and propelled himself right at the bird. He shot lightning right at the bird, which stumbled a little bit, and he managed to catch both Ruby and Weiss. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure Weiss just like landed. So yeah, so Ruby landed on the ground somewhere. Well, where the ruins are. I'm pretty sure. If I just hit the mic again. And Weiss, well, she got grabbed by Izuku once again, bridal style, which both of them were falling. So Izuku decided to transform his sniper into a sword, put it backwards, and pull the trigger so it can slowly make his descent slowly. So Izuku managed to land on the ground. Now, right now, there are not enough. There are not enough. Yeah, so there are not enough pieces. So there were only enough pieces for Team Juniper and Team Ruby. So, yeah. Like in canon, they see Ren and Nora coming out the forest with the Ursa falling down. Which Nora just says, "Aw, it's broken." Which Ren just says, "Nora, please don't ever do that again." Uh, Ren looks at where Nora was and she sees a gun. He looks around and and Nora was at the rook piece, and says, "I'm queen of the castle." That is what she says in the show. So it says, "Nora." Yeah. So it says, "Come in, Ren." Now, Izuku. Blake just says, did that girl just come in riding the Ursa? And did she just get chased by the Scorpion? Yeah, I really need to look up the names for these Grimm, so yeah. It says, "Great, we're gonna die together." And all of a sudden, and yeah. And the other part, which I kind of forget, and Yang just says in anger, well, burst in flame and aura, says, "Can you guys shut up?" And like and get an outburst. And Izuku just says, "Okay, let's just calm down. You guys get your pieces. I don't care if I don't make it or not. Just grab your pieces and we need to get out of here now." Ruby just says, "Are you sure?" "Yes, I'm sure. So go get your pieces. And so we can get out of here now. Okay?" Everyone went to go get the piece. Izuku didn't care that if he did not get his pieces. He was willing to sacrifice himself. So, when everyone got their pieces, all of them ran, even Izuku. And Izuku and the others made it to, like in canon, the stone bridge and the broken looking castle thing. There was left the bird and the scorpion. The scorpion came right behind them, and the bird was land on top of the cliff. So they both ran right to the bridge while the others were shooting the scorpion. Now Izuku was with Team Juniper. Actually, no, Team Ruby. He was with Team Ruby trying to fight off the bird. And Nora and John were well, like in canon, Nora used her grenade launcher hammer to launch her and both John right to the other side. And when she slammed her hammer right onto the scorpion and landed, she accidentally pushed off Blake. Which, when Blake was about to fall, Izuku uses lightning to... Actually, yeah, Izuku uses lightning to grab Blake and, well, yeah, to grab Blake and land on the stone. He uses lightning and jumped up right to the spot where Team Ruby was. Now Izuku used his sniper. Even Ruby, Yang, and Weiss and Blake started shooting. Shit. Okay, ignore that. So both Izuku and the others started shooting the bird. Yang went up to the top and started blasting her shotgun shells, which it's her shotgun shells. She jumped right onto the bird's mouth and kept shooting inside the bird's mouth, which it stunned him a little bit, and Yang jumped out. So, so the bird crashed right into the cliff. So Izuku had an idea. And told them the idea. So it's the same one, like in canon. So they decided to use the slingshot. And Izuku was tossed the other part of Blake's gun so they can use it as the bungee. As to make it as a slingshot. Yeah, Ruby was sent right on to the rope. Right behind her was the thing, what Weiss was doing. Now she was launched right into the air. Which Ruby was able to put her scythe right under the bird's neck. She dragged it. She dragged it right, running straight to the top with Weiss doing her spell. I think spell to make her run right to the top. When she got to the top, she was struggling, but she pressed the button to make her shoot her scythe, able to cut the bird's head off. She was able, with Yang being proud of her sister. Now, we're gonna time skip to the ceremony where Ozpin were doing the teams, like Team Cardinal, Team Juniper, Team Ruby, and all there was left was Izuku. So, Izuku was told that since there were no other teams and you didn't get the piece, for me, I was thinking of you getting kicked out, but with your skills and leadership, I am having you stay. But I'm having you stay in Beacon. Team Juniper and Team Ruby were relieved. Now, husband says that right now we don't have enough room, but I am having you join the team. Now, which team would you want to be with? Izuku looked at the people that he was with. Izuku then says, I shall join Team Ruby. And that's all for today. Now, like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.